am a self-proclaimed foundation girl. Foundation till the day I die. But I just came back from a family trip to Vegas and I went shopping for some skin tints you can't get here in Canada, and I am converted. So come along with me, let's do some shopping and I'll show you my current favorite skin tints for summer. Okay, so I did film a whole lot of footage on my vacation with my family. Some I love, some I don't. I'm new to this YouTube thing, guys, and I am working on it, but I do have some clips I'm gonna show you before I jump into some actual try-ons for you here now that I'm back at home and I've had a chance to test and try and wear out things a whole lot more. But boy, oh boy, did I give these all a really good wear test in Vegas where it was blistering hot. I was by the pool all day. I was walking around the strip, going out for dinner. So these did get a really good test, and I can definitely go ahead and recommend all of these for all the mamas out there, for all the people that just want a great skin tint that will last all day, that will look beautiful throughout the day and not melt off your skin. So first, let's jump into some of the Vegas footage, and then I will jump into some of the try-ons that I'll do at home here for you. Okay, everyone, I am walking towards Sephora in Fashion Show Mall at Planet Hollywood. We are staying at the Bellagio this trip. Don't mind my new pimple, and I have no makeup on because I'm gonna go pick up some things that do not exist in Canada that I can get at Sephora in the US, specifically a whole bunch of skin tints with SPF, because I want to trial a whole bunch while I'm here to give you some advice on really great long wearing SPF friendly and not maybe skin tints from a mom of 3 who I'm going to be at the pool every day all day for the next few days. So I think this will be really valuable for the next few months as we enter summer. And look at my view. I mean, this place is so great. I'm very fortunate to be here with my family enjoying the sun for the next few days. So let's go into Sephora and find some stuff that you cannot find in Canada. Okay, that is the fun of this. There's not very many things anymore that do not exist in Canada, but I have a few in mind, so let's go shopping. Okay, the first stop was the Ciele little carousel, and I have been dying to try Ciele. I looked at some of their blushes, their bronzers, and some of their other products that looked amazing, but really I was there to try the skin tint above all else. Here's a swatch of shade medium 05, but I went back and got shade 04 light medium instead. Here's the Tower 28 Sunny Days Tinted SPF Sunscreen. It is beautiful. And I went ahead and did a few swatches for you all here. So what you will see in these shade swatches from top to bottom is shade 13, 15, 18, and 20 on the bottom. And 20 is the shade Mulholland on the bottom, and that's the shade I picked up and brought home. But they're all fairly similar if you can tell. But I am very, very happy with my light to medium complexion with shade 20. Then this is the one I was dying to try. They reformulated the Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. It is the new blurring tinted moisturizer. I was so excited to try this one as I love their original, and anything with the blurring or mattifying it is right up my alley. It's something I definitely gravitate towards with my skin tone. Here at the top is shade 2N, and then below it is shade 2W. I kind of regret not getting 2N because 2W is quite yellow, but it's still great. Okay, so after going to Sephora, I grabbed 3 things, and again, these are specific to the United States. We cannot get these in Canada as of yet. So I got the Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Blurred Matte in the shade 2W. I got the Ciele, it's called the Tint and Protect SPF 50 in the shade Medium. And then I got the Tower 28, it's called the Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Tinted Sunscreen, I think it's called, in the shade 20 Mulholland. So I've been testing these at the poolside, except for this one. This one is the last one to get tested today to try and find out what works best as a busy mom that's stuck beside the pool in Vegas day in and day out. Happy to do so, by the way, but what is actually staying on my skin well, what's performing really well. So that is what I've been doing since we've been here in Vegas. Okay, let's jump in with, oh gosh, I don't know. I love them all. Let's start with the Mercier. Okay, so the Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Blurred Matte Broad Spectrum SPF 30. This was the one I was actually the most excited for because I love anything that blurs or mattifies my T-zone. So this one, it's a thicker consistency if you can see, and I got the shade 2W Citrine. I probably could have gone with 2N. I was on the fence, but We went with this one, and it works, especially with my tan. So with all tinted moisturizers, my preference is to really allow it to melt and like sink into my skin. I don't like it sitting on top, and therefore I use my fingers. So I rub and then I pat it in, and then I go in and massage it in. This one has a noticeably thicker consistency. It doesn't like glide onto the skin. Like it feels like you have to really work it in. It definitely is thick, and I think that's because of the mattifying properties of this one, which again, I don't mind, but it definitely takes more time, which all the more reason to like really warm it up and get it into your skin. So just make sure it's all over. This one I typically do wear a sunscreen underneath, again, just because I don't mind my skin being a little more hydrated when I put this one on, but you can definitely, again, get away with just using this if you apply liberally and enough as per recommendations for sun exposures. I'm just gonna apply a little bit more where I want a little more coverage, kind of in my cheek area, right by my nose. And my nose is always my problem area. I always have a hard time right kind of in this area, just really having all my makeup products like soak into my pores and not look patchy and move around and just look bad. And I find when I apply with my fingers, everything looks much better in that area, okay? So now I'm just gonna take a look in my mirror. So that looks great. If anything's ever looking patchy, I just take my foundation brush and just kind of like smooth it out. This is a new brush I got from Morphe. It's their 104 foundation brush, I believe. Is it 104? M104, yeah. Okay, so as you can see, it just gives a really nice blurred matte coverage, but not too matte. It doesn't look powdery or chalky. I still see some of my glow from underneath coming through, but it really does do a great job of mattifying my pores. I feel like this wears really well all day long. I usually do set everything with a powder. That's just my personal preference. If I didn't, I think I would get some oil breakthrough, but compared to the other ones that I'm showing you today, this one definitely is the most mattified. Yeah. And it does dry down eventually. Right now, it's still just, it does feel a little bit tacky right now. You do get a bit of dry down, but again, all the more reason to set with a powder. I typically do that with all my tinted moisturizers because I don't like anything feeling like it could transfer or feeling a little damp to touch. So this is the Laura Mercier. Okay, moving on to something that is almost the polar opposite of the Laura Mercier. I'm not showing you the front of this because it was in my travel makeup bag on a few trips now, and look at the front. It's so bad. So this is the Tower 28. I'm gonna put a little picture up here. The Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Tinted Sunscreen. Very different than the Laura Mercier. This one, when I first put it on, it felt slippy. It almost felt oily, but oh my gosh, this one impressed me the most out of all of the tints I'm showing you today. It just like really blew me away because of how serum-y and how skin-like it looks. It is gorgeous. So I'm in the shade 20 Mulholland, and again, I'm not going to show you my packaging, but if you look, even compared to Laura Mercier, see how it's starting to drip down my hand a little bit. So definitely a lot more of a thinner consistency and like a, yeah, just, it feels like, I want to say oily, but not, like serum-y almost. So again, I'm going to rub it into my fingers and pat it on. Love this shade match, definitely more neutral than the Laura Mercier, but this one, every time I put this on, you guys, I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, I look healthy. I look like I have a glow. But surprisingly, it doesn't make me look like an oil slick throughout the day. Like, it just really pleasantly surprised me when I purchased it. And again, when I first put it on, I was like, this ain't gonna work for my skin. I just really was like, ooh. And then as I wore it and I kept checking and looking, I was like, wow, this is beautiful. I'll actually jump to a clip now. I tested this out in Vegas, which is where I bought all these, and I wore it out a few times, and I'll cut to a clip now to show you how stunning it looked in the natural light and how beautifully it wore. Okay, I am in the Fairy Gardens of Bellagio, and again, this is the Ciele, this is the Tower 28, little check-in in this beautiful lighting. I think the Ciele is less shiny. Maybe, but we'll see. But yeah, what beautiful place to do a little check-in and show you how things are wearing. Look at this. So cute. Okay, we are by T-Mobile Arena. Just checking in with my skin. These are beautiful skin tints. I am really happy with everything I've purchased. I'm not sure which one I like best. This is the Ciele Tower 28. They both look beautiful. I am getting a bit of oil breakthrough in the areas I typically get oily, but that is to be expected. I have not powdered as of yet, but the Tower 28 is holding up better than I thought. I thought I'd look a lot more oily, but these are both more serum-y. So typically products like that I do get quite oily with, and they do tend to wear off, but so the oil breakthrough expected. The fact that they're still looking great coverage wise and all those things, like I still am very happy. I look in the mirror, I'm like, okay, my complexion looks great. So far so good. So I hope that was useful, because every time I wear it in Vegas, I was like, it's hot, it's humid. Well, not humid, I take that back. It's hot. And this is staying on so well, and this is looking so nice, and oh my gosh, look at my skin. It was just stunning. So I'm just gonna take my brush now, because it is a little streaky even when I use my fingers. So I just wanna make sure I don't see any streakiness, but if you can tell, compared to the Laura Mercier, definitely more glowy. It feels so hydrating on the skin. I definitely set with this one. I always use a setting powder. If you have more drier skin, you may not need to, but just something I always do in the T-zone at least. But I just, like, I grabbed this probably the most out of all the new tints I've bought, just because I put it on and I look in the mirror, I'm like, I love it. It's so pretty. I just look like I just look healthy, and I look glowy, and I look like I have a nice even skin tone. So don't sleep on this one. I know it's not a new product, but again, one that I can't get in Canada. So when I had the chance to grab it in the States, I jumped at it, and I'm so glad I did. Okay, now for the one that I think I was most hyped up in my mind based on like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, is the Ciele Tint and Protect, and I got the shade 04 Light Medium. This is nice because it's an SPF 50, and it has beautiful coverage, much more than a lot of the skin tints I've tried. And I love the option for an SPF 50, because if you apply enough, it's a one and done. It gives you coverage, it gives you great sun protection. So I was so pumped to get this. I did originally buy shade 05 when I was in Vegas, and it was okay, but it was just a little too deep. And I recognize that as I get more tan, maybe that would have worked, but I figure that I can, bronze and do other things to kind of deepen this up a little bit if I need to, as opposed to having something much too deep. So this one is a very serum-y consistency, you'll see here. And it just definitely like rolls off the back of your hand, but it again gives you a beautiful second skin finish. I love this coverage. Again, skin tints aren't typically my jam, because I do like something with a little more coverage, but not too heavy. And these are stunning. So I am putting quite a bit on, because I want to show you how much I would put on to actually give me sun coverage if I'm using this as a one and done. So I'm going down my neckline. I'm really just working it in to my skin. I am tanned because I went on another trip after Vegas, so you'll see this shade match. It's pretty good. It's a little light. And this looks like a lot of product, but I think it was Chloe Morello showed how much sunscreen you should put on, and how when you originally put it on, you're like, oh my gosh, this is way too much product, but work it in, give it time, put it on all the spots you need it, like down your neckline, on your ears, and really just get it in. And you'll see, can you tell, like it's giving quite a bit of coverage for a tint, but this, again, as the day moved on, or goes on as I wear this, it doesn't cake, it doesn't get greasy. Again, I just look in the mirror, I'm like, that looks like my skin. And I'm realizing I used to be such a full coverage foundation gal. I still like the look of looking flawless. But as I'm aging, I'm realizing that as the day goes on, a lot of those foundations look heavy and cakey, and you can see it settling and clumping and gooping. And the products I've been finding lately, that when I look in the mirror 8 hours later and I look like me and I don't look heavy and cakey, that's what I want now. So this is definitely one of those products. So as you can see, I put on a lot. It has blended out super nicely. It does like feel like I have a serum on my skin, so it doesn't you know, it feels like something, again, I would want to powder, but that is part of my routine anyways. But look at that coverage. It's so stunning. It's got a beautiful finish. It's not matte. It's not too glowy. It's just skin-like. I mean, all these tints, I have such good things to say. So this one is similar to the Tower 28, I would say, in their finish. I really like both. I love the higher SPF in this one, and it is a bit of a higher coverage than the Tower 28, if that's something you're interested in. So, I mean, you can't go wrong for summertime with this. I'm just obsessed. This is such a stunning product. Okay, and the last one is a product that really did blow me away this year. It is a non-SPF, what I consider to be a skin tint. It is actually marketed as a foundation. It's the MAC Studio Radiance Face and Body Foundation. This is waterproof. It stays on so well, but it is very light in coverage, very skin-like in the finish, and I really like wearing it when I'm wearing a normal SPF as part of my skincare routine, and then I put this on top. I truly do wear SPF underneath most of these most of the time. So don't think I'm using these as just my SPF. Just sometimes if I want a one and done, I do use them that way. But let me show you how this one works. So this one in particular, shake really well. It is a friction, I don't know the term, friction based, friction, I don't know. It needs friction to really activate and give you the proper coverage that it is meant to give. So this one again is a runnier consistency. If you see it running down my hand, I got the shade, what did I get? C3. So I again like using this with my fingers best because it needs friction to activate. So what that means is when you first put it on, it's super watery, but as you really work it in, all of a sudden it starts to get tacky and it thickens up and gets more grippy. And that's when you really get the full coverage that it's intended to give. It is, as you can tell, it is a lighter coverage. It gives a very natural finish to the skin, very skin-like. I'm gonna apply a bit more to my forehead. But the fact that this is waterproof is so great. When we go to the outdoor pool with my kids in the summer and I want just a little bit of coverage that I know is not gonna wash away, because sometimes I do want to look a little more put together. This is such a nice option because it does not look like makeup at all. It just evens out the complexion a bit and it stays put. So as you can tell, the coverage is just so great in a very light, easy way. So if you don't like heavy, you don't like cakey, you don't want a lot of coverage at all, but you want something in the summertime that won't melt off your face, that will stay put, this is outstanding. How I usually wear this is I do it like this, and then I'll spot conceal, maybe do a little under eye concealer if I want a bit more coverage, and then I'm done. And by the end of the day, again, I look in the mirror and I'm like, it looks like my skin. It's not gunky, it's not cakey, it's not goopy, it's not in my pores. It looks just like me and it doesn't wear off. I just, like, one of the greatest finds I think I found this year, honestly. So good for an everyday easy product, just obsessed. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this as my base and put on the rest of my makeup and just give you some final thoughts on all these skin tints. All right, my makeup is done, everyone. All in all, you guys, these are such great skin tints, and I mean it when I say I might be converted. These are what I've been grabbing day to day as opposed to my normal foundation routine. So to summarize everything that I showed you here today, I would recommend, but everyone has a different skin type. So remember, I have an oily T-zone, I have pores, and I am 37. I was gonna say 38, not 38 yet. The Laura Mercier, definitely great for someone with a combination oilier complexion, looking for something that is a little bit heavier, but not heavy. It's still a tint, but it is a thicker consistency. It definitely blurs, it definitely mattifies. So this one would be a great option if that's what you're looking for. Good for every day, but yeah, just something that, this is probably the one that feels the thickest on the skin, but oily and combo skin approved. Definitely would grab this in many situations. Again, my very yucky but well-loved Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum Tinted Sunscreen Foundation. dry skin, normal skin, even oily and combo skin. Again, this works really well on me. I do set it, but it gives such a beautiful skin-like serum-y finish, and I was really impressed with this one. But I would definitely set it with powder if you're more on the oily side, because it does have that kind of more oily consistency. I hate saying oily consistency, but it just feels a little more oily on the skin. I'm sorry, Tower 28. I still love you. That's just my best way to describe it. Set it, forget it, you'll love it. And then the Ciele, so beautiful as well. I can't say enough good things. More coverage than the Tower 28, but a very similar consistency, very similar finish. If you want a higher SPF and a bit more coverage, this one is a really good option. And then this, you can also get in Canada, not just in the States. So this one is available everywhere. So good. I can't say enough good things. Waterproof, skin-like. The coverage is not something I would normally gravitate towards, but I am just obsessed with it. Great if you don't want an SPF in your like foundation or skin tint. If you want SPF just to be for a true sunscreen product as part of your skin prep, and you want whatever coverage you put on your skin to just be that without an SPF, buy this. Buy this if you don't want that. Just buy this. Like, so good, so good. So I hope this was helpful. There's so many skin tints out there. I have tried a lot, and these are the first ones that I actually am blown away by and that I'm grabbing every single day. All the other skin tints I've bought that exist out there, I've grabbed, I've liked, and they're okay. But these are the ones that just have really shook me and that I will be using throughout the summer and beyond. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in with me once again. I really appreciate all of you that have been watching, and if you could do a like or a subscribe, it would mean the world to me. I will see you again soon, and go Oilers!